Christina. Welcome to Soundwave TV. We are backstage at Soundwave in Melbourne with the Mighty Garbage.
The Mighty Garbage.
Mighty Garbage. You guys are pretty mighty.
Yeah, we are.
It's true. Let's be honest.
So at this point, we would be.
What do you think's been the biggest driving force that's kept you guys going and stuff?
Self-hatred. Yeah. I'm not kidding. Well, I think that's what's kept us going.
Punishing.
Yes.
Masochistic tendencies.
Well, no, I mean, I'm being flippant, but I think, you know, as a band, as people, we are very gregarious and we do look for connection, I guess, in life. And as a musician, I think that's what you're doing, is you're sort of sending out a signal, like, who out there feels even remotely like me? And then somebody hollers back, and then you feel like, wow, okay, I'm not standing by myself in this life. You know, there's other people that see things the same way as I do and perceive the world the way I do. So
I was talking to the guy from Red Fan, because he's married to his wife's a drummer. We're talking about how ridiculous it is. There's 5 female musicians on this tour, and why that is.
I feel like just over the last decade, pop music has been the sort of most dominating force for whatever reason in the music scene. And there's been a lot of women who are at the top of the charts as a result of that. But I think what someone like me or Hayley feel is that there are very few women who are wanting to agitate, I guess, or
be rock musicians, essentially.
Yeah. And not just be sort of pretty entertainers, you know, who are saying the right things and doing the right things and wearing the right things. And, you know, when I grew up, all the women I looked up to were sort of provocateurs, and they were in argument with what was going on in the mainstream, and there seems to be a lack of that kind of dialogue right now for whatever reason. I don't know. I have a theory that it's because I feel the world got very conservative after September 11th, because, you know, when people feel scared, their natural tendency is to be conservative, and pop music always enjoys a lot of popularity at a time when people are feeling a little
frightened,
unsafe.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? What do you think?
Well, Shirley has, you know, she has been influenced by some of the greatest women in rock, like Patti Smith and Chrissie Hynde, and now Shirley is a role model.
I think in a funny way, someone like Patti Smith and Chrissie Hynde, like these great icons of rock music, they all wanted to be boys, or they wanted to hang with the boys. They didn't want to wear pretty frocks and be in all the fashion magazines and be called beautiful and sexy. They didn't give a shit. And I think, unfortunately, right now, all women seem to care about is how beautiful they are, and they're taking pictures of themselves constantly with their iPhones, and there's just a fatigue of narcissism.
It's totally. It's like the internet, like social media and stuff. It's like voyeurism and narcissism matched together, and it becomes this horrible kind of weird force.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I don't understand why more girls don't want to hang out at a concert like this where there's all these hot boys in rock bands.
It's true, you know, like it's that whole Wayne's World thing, the swing. I mean, really.
I mean, it's all here. It's all here, girls. I'm telling you. It's all here.
Step in front of a microphone.
Yeah, but I see, you know, yesterday I was walking down Collins Street and I saw all these girls going to a Pierce the Veil gig. And girls, if you want to meet Pierce the Veil, come to a rock show, come to a rock festival, join a band, you know.
They're very polite. So I say to my friends, they come out to metal shows. They take excellent care of their hair. They're very polite young men. I think they're heavy in the music, the nice to the people quite often.
I totally agree.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. What do you think, dude?
I agree. Very polite.
You're very polite.
Am I?
Yeah, I think you're pretty polite. I mean, you can be rude if you want.
Oh no, I won't. I won't be rude. I hardly know you.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, it's okay. I'll be rude to people I don't know. I mean, I won't be rude to you guys. You guys are cool. I'm down. Are you guys going to sort of, are you thinking sort of writing more music this year, or are you feeling things germinating?
Are you feeling things germinating?
Yeah. Are things germinating within you, Duke?
Yeah, you know, I woke up this morning and, no. We're still talking about, well, we're going to do some more shows in the States, and we're going to do some more shows in Europe, and then we're talking about making a new record after that.
Killer.
Yeah, so we might do this whole thing again.
Yeah, you should come back and like.
We'd love
play
to.
some shows.
We're very happy to be here. So
do you have any
sure
fond
we'll
memories?
be happy to come back.
Fond memories of Australia?
Yeah, we have many. I mean, our career essentially started here in Melbourne, and so yeah, we have many. Our record label was Australian, Mushroom Records. Michael Gudinski signed the boys basically, and yeah. this is home for us in a funny way, a spiritual
It's
home.
like a second home. Well, I think like I'm not Scottish, but I have the great grandparents are, and I think there's a certain, you know, like we got like Bon Scott, and there's a lot of great correlations between Australia and Scotland, and I think
Well, they sent all the bad Scots over here,
Yeah,
right?
we do, yeah.
All the naughty ones.
So we're all the naughty ones, and and we, you know, so you're obviously quite virtuous, Shirley, you know.
I'm very, very virtuous. Absolutely.
So what kind of has kept you guys busy over the last few years, sort of wandering around between garbage moments?
Oh, well.
Making other music?
I'm always making music, writing songs. I did a couple of remixes. I'm working on this huge project that I can't really tell you about.
Can you tell me, like,
it's
a
about
little
the
bit?
history of American music.
Yeah?
Early American music. Very cool.
Well, like rock and roll, like Chuck Berry and...
Well, that's kind of where it all came from.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's way big. It's
Got
like
a million years.
1920s, 30s.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
It is. It's been fantastic. Yeah.
Are there any sort of things you've been listening to that you'd like to explore with music and stuff with the next album, or?
Yeah, I mean, we're always sort of trying to figure out what we're going to do next, you know. And we listen to a lot of different types of music, you know. I mean, Duke has been listening to a lot of, as he said, all this old folk and blues that he's been discovering. And, you know, I've been listening to that Japanese band Mono, who I've become sort of obsessed by.
Awesome.
And then I also love that, you know, like bands like Savages coming out of London, who I found really exciting, you know. I mean, there's always a lot of different stuff coming up, but we have to remain true to who we are, you know. That's the thing about a band, you have to be unique. Otherwise, you just get swallowed up, you know. So the influences are great, and you want to be aware of what's going on, but you can't lose what makes you special or different. Otherwise, you just
Become part of the wash, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what Kerry King was saying? He's like, a lot of people think you have to grow up. You know, a lot of people think you can't make the same thrashing metal album you made when you were 25 and you have to become something else and evolve. But
I don't want to make the same record over and over again, which, you know, for us as a band, we've paid the price for not making the same record over and over again. But as a person, I just feel life is big, and I want to like look out and see what's out there. I don't want to just be stuck in a groove doing something for the fans. I want to explore and be an adventurer. I don't know. I don't know if that makes you grown up, but I just think your life's going to be more interesting if you don't feel scared and you don't hold yourself down. I think you need to like go out and see what else is out there.
throw yourself into the show.
So,
Yeah.
but I think it's different for every musician. You
Yeah,
know?
definitely. It is a very personal thing to sort of lump. I mean, you're all here doing a job, essentially, doing the same job, but the myriad of ways you can kind of approach it
Absolutely,
is quite
yeah.
significant. Yeah.
Yeah, and each band you'll see on this festival are all doing it different ways,
Yeah.
which is
Do you-
probably why they're here.
Do you like heavy metal?
I love some heavy metal. I don't love all of it, but I heard Slayer the other night, and I swear to God, I was like, there has to be a band that comes up in the next 3 months that sounds that heavy, and that because it sounds truly alternative. It's really exciting.
It's fun, isn't it? Like for me, the thing I like about like metal and like alternative music as a rule is it sounds like you probably shouldn't be listening to it.
Yeah, it just sounds
Fun,
crazy,
cheeky.
crazy.
And it's the energy of that, and John Deddy's stepping in on both bands and smashing it as a drummer. It's just
wild.
incredible to watch.
Exciting.
Yeah, exactly. Are there any sort of bands that you guys share much of a history with on this tour?
Well,
Like,
Metallica,
yeah.
you know, we have. I mean, they've covered "Only Happy When It Rains," and we were thrilled about that, being big Metallica fans. And you know, I love those guys, and we shared management for many years. And you know, Paramore, I think Hayley's talked a lot about how Garbage kind of influenced her. And you know, there's a lot of bands out there that, you know, Offspring, we meet them almost every festival we've ever done. Blink, we've met almost every festival we've done this year, you know. So yeah, we have a lot of history with bands. You know, when you're around as long as we are, you start to know all the other bands that are around for a long time, which is really cool.
So is it true you guys sort of wrapped up the last time in Perth?
That is true, yeah.
So it's kind of a return back to, it's a bit circular, if you will.
Except this time, yeah, except we're in a much better headspace this time. We were talking about this earlier, we were all a bit sort of depressed. I think that's the best way of putting it when we were here the last time. We realised that we were really lucky to be on tour in Australia, and why were we so miserable? It was time to go home and have a rethink. So that's basically what we did.
Yeah?
7 years of rethinking.
That's a lot of thinking.
Yeah. We're not used to thinking that much, actually.
Very deep. We're very deep.
We're very cerebral. We needed to stand back and look at what we had accomplished. I think now that we're back, we feel good about
Yeah.
all the songs, and the feedback from the crowd is so incredible.
What did you miss the most about each other?
Well, I miss two things, to be honest. A, the boys are very funny. They're shy, so you don't really see that. The public don't get to see that as much as I do, but they're very, very funny, and I did miss their humour. And also, I think when you share a goal with a bunch of people, it's rare that that happens in life. It's usually just your sort of primary relationships that you have that with, whether it's your, you know, your family or your lover or whatever. But, you know, when you share a goal with a bunch of people, there's something very special about that, because you're really sort of forced to sort of be in a gang. And that feels good, you know, instead of always going through life feeling alone. You know, I think with your gang, you're like, okay, you know, worst case scenario, they've got my back.
It's like the Warriors.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Do you remember when you guys first, basically first met up?
Steve first heard Shirley sing
Yeah.
in Angelfish, and we had just come up with this idea for Garbage, this thing, and we were looking for someone to sing. And that's the first time, and we tracked her down, got her number, and I think she was washing the dishes
Yeah.
when we called.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
And we flew. We all got together in London. We were over in London for other business. We got together with Shirley, and we hit it off immediately.
I mean, it changed my whole life. You know, my whole world just sort of opened up. You know, and I've been really extraordinarily lucky. And we've had a long career now. You know, we've been together. We're going to celebrate our 20th anniversary, I think, next year. And that's just insane. You know, if anyone had told me that when I was young, that I was going to have a 20-year career with my band, I would just be so shocked.